Most people never see this part. Just me, a headlamp, and a dark road. That was dramatic, wasn't it? Dark. But I do train in the dark, and it was especially dramatic this morning because you can see it's foggy out. And I remember when I first got my headlamp and walking in the dark was weird. Like it was like I was in a tunnel, like I couldn't see anything to the sides of me. And that has changed. And then when the fog, it looks like a million things just flying at you. But that has changed because I've gotten used to it. And that's what I want to talk about today. It's like, I don't expect everybody to go walking in the dark. It's kind of a metaphor for the unseen things we do to get to a certain point. Y'all know that I'm training for a 50K and I still work full time. So in order for me to get done in enough time to get in the car and get ahead of the drivers in enough time, I have to walk in the dark. And I've chosen that because it's my goal to walk. And honestly, I'm a morning person anyway. I get more done before noon than most people get done in a whole day. I just feel better in the morning. And then I've been dealing with a very toxic office situation. I work in a building that has commercial in the front and HUD housing in the back, and they smoke. And my vent in my bathroom is attached to the people back there that smoke, and I've had marijuana in my bathroom, which gives me a rip-roaring headache, but that's like kind of sporadic. But this has been every single day this whole week. Somebody's been smoking cigarettes, and it comes into my bathroom, and then it comes into my office and makes me sick because my office doesn't have any like real good ventilation system. So once it's in my office, it's there. And so I did the 7K last week, and I thought, this is great. I need to recover from this, but I hadn't really done recovery before. Like, what does that exactly mean? I'm 65, I'm not 27 anymore. And the last time I did races, I was pretty young. So I was put off a couple times by rain, which I think may have been a blessing in disguise because I was really tired this week, and I'm still working on dialing in my nutrition and hydration and all that stuff, because my ultimate goal is that 50K that I have moved down to November. So right now I'm working on durability, but you can't be durable if you're tired. So I've had to rethink things just like I did with the races I signed up for. I initially was going to do the 25K that I just did the 7, and I went out there and I looked at the trail and I thought, there's no way I can get this done in the amount of time that they're going to give me to do it. And I want to finish it. That's my biggest thing, is I want to finish it. So then I set a marathon to do this month. It's at the end of this month. And after doing everything else, looking at that trail, and 25K is like the same distance, I don't know that I'm ready for a marathon. So I want to finish, and I don't want the people to have to sit there all day long. These people are so nice. Like, I emailed it first tonight because I want to finish, right? So I wanted to know if they had a cutoff time. And she wrote me back and she said, oh, we don't have any cutoff time. We'll be here when you get back, and we're so proud of you. And I was like, oh. And then I thought, I can't make them sit there and wait for me forever, while I finish a marathon that I might not be ready for. So I asked if I could scale that one back. So I'm doing a half a marathon, and I've already walked that distance. That's 13.1 miles. I've walked that far. I know I can do it. I know I can do it in the time. They'll still be getting people in from the marathon, and it'll all be good, and I won't feel guilty for keeping them there all night. So I've moved and then I was going to do a 50K in April, at the end of April. And I thought, I haven't entered it yet. I was going to scale it back to 25K. And I thought, well, do I really need to do a 25K if I've just done a half a marathon? I don't think so. I think what I'd really rather work on is the durability, the getting my fueling right, getting my recovery right, so that when I do that 50K, I can kill it, you know, because I want to do well. I mean, I'll never win, you guys. I am slow. I have never been fast, but I am built for distance. I just know that. I know I can go a long, long way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter that today. It's in November. It's a fairly flat course. I think he said that it's in a trail and it's in Memphis. And it's actually in the forest, but it's smooth. The track is smooth, single track, and he said there's some down places when there's like drainage, but there's no elevation to speak of. So technically, I could actually train in my driveway still. You know, I do my third of a mile loops in my driveway right now, and I could still keep doing that. Although what I want to do is I want to get out on a trail that I can walk. I'll probably go to that place where I was going to do the 50K in Springfield. It's a rail to trail, so it's pretty flat. And then I could just do a continuous, you know, without having to worry about turning, and just do the continuous 5 hours on feet or whatever I'm going to do for my training that day, and practice the nutrition and practice the hydration. Because if you don't get that stuff right, you can really hurt yourself. There's a lady in this ultra runner group that I'm in yesterday. She's not as old as I am, but she's definitely got adult children. And she said, I was trying to do this race and I had to stop and I felt like I was going to die and I couldn't breathe and I was so hot and I feel terrible because I want to be the runner I used to be. We can't be the runner that we used to be. We can't be whatever we were when we were 20 because we're not 20 anymore. You know, we're wiser, we're stronger. We'll be a different kind of whatever now because we have years of experience behind us, right? And I told her, I'm like, that's victory. Knowing that you had to stop and walk back. That's brave, you know, because you don't want to not finish, you know. I feel like with my training, I want to keep doing everything I can to get it right so that I don't have that kind of a situation, you know, where if I have to not finish, it's because of something drastic that happens. Not that I want that to happen because I really don't. But, you know, something it's out of my control. But we just have to realize we're not that same person and it's okay. We're better. We know so much more stuff, you know, we can make better decisions and do it our way now as opposed to doing our way then. And I honestly feel like my way now may be even better than it was back then because I love to run, but man, it was just hard. And I'm gonna walk. You know, I'm gonna walk most of it. I am going to do jeffing. Have I talked about jeffing? I don't even remember. So back in the day when I first started running after the Marine Corps, I got a book by Jeff Galloway, and he just passed away, which is sad because he was like the father of this method. That's the run walk method, and it's to encourage everybody to be able to do a road race, you know, like you don't have to run the whole thing. And especially in ultra marathons, nobody runs the whole thing. Well, some people do. I cannot say they don't because I've seen some incredible stuff where people run 100 miles, you know, in like 11 hours or something. It's like, oh my goodness, but they're young. Anyway, the run walk method. So you work on that. You work on run walk intervals, and that's how you manage to, it's really kind of more of I think, a strength conservation technique to get you to the end. And so I'm going to start working on that now that I've gotten past my first trail race. You know, I really want to be a trail runner. So now I can say I'm a trail runner. But I also really want to be an ultra marathoner. Yes, I do. I want that title. It means a lot to me. And that was my goal for this year. So I put it off till November. I'm still going to do it, but I work really hard on getting everything sorted. Did you ever hear about the overnight sensation? And then that's the news. It's all in the news. This person's an overnight sensation. But then when you talk to the actual person or hear from them, they're like, oh my gosh, I worked hard. I did this for 10 years. I did this and I did that. And I did everything I could to get to this place where all of a sudden in public, you appear to be an overnight sensation. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want you guys to walk in the dark if you don't walk in the dark. You know, if you walked in the middle of the day in broad daylight, and I would be so thrilled that you were moving, you know. But for me, walking in the dark works, and nobody sees that part. You know, I chose to walk in the dark because it fits my time schedule. I feel better in the morning and it's dark. So I'm good with that. And here's a cool thing that 50K I'm going to do, they also have a 100K, and that race is 100% in the dark. And I was going to do that. When I was going to do the 50K in April, I was going to do that 100K in November. But I feel like my training in the morning in the dark in my driveway is perfect training for that 100K. I heard a guy on a podcast who said he couldn't wear a headlamp because it made him nauseated. And I get super seasick. Like I get seasick from the craziest stuff, you know. Um, Motion sickness really bothers me, but that never happened when I was using my headlamp. And so I feel like I'm way ahead of that game when I'm ready for it, probably next year. So anyway, I want to talk about like the stuff that you need to do to get to your big goal. And I really think that, you know, just because we're older doesn't mean we can't still have a big goal. I think we should definitely have a big goal in our life, you know, something we want to do, whatever that may be, you know. Um, there's so many things. I wanted to be the president of the HR Association. Guess what? I'm the president of the HR Association. And I wanted to be the ambassador of the year at the chamber. And guess what? I'm the ambassador of the year for the 2025 year at the chamber. I put those goals in front of myself because I'm very goal driven. And I think, you know, it just helps you to have something to look forward to and to work towards. And it's good. It's good for you. Um, I'm going to be an overnight sensation in November when I kill that 50K. I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. I had to stop. I realized when I started doing things, you remember when I first started walking, if you've been with me the whole time, when I first started, I used to have my hip would hurt, you know, and my knees hurt sometimes, but I started stretching and I realized, and I already knew this, I already knew that I wasn't as flexible as I used to be when I was like younger. I used to be seriously flexible till 2009, October of 2009. And I realized that once I started stretching, that stuff all went away and I don't hurt anymore. I don't have any pain at all. But I stretch every dang day. I go in after I walk and I do. It's 8 minutes. It's a full body stretch. I don't know if I have it in the description, but I'll put it there just in case you need it. It's doable, and I have found I still hate it. Even after all these months, I still hate it. I hate it, but guess what? I can do it better. I was watching this video that talked about the things that you gradually lose, and I think I mentioned it in another video not too long ago about the things that you kind of gradually lose over the course of aging. And one of those things is getting up off the ground. And I remember that back when I was like in my 50s, saying something to my girlfriend about, man, it's harder to get off the ground than it used to be. And she was like, it's always hard to get off the ground. And she's 30 years younger than me. I thought, okay, but it's not. You should work on that. You should work on that every dang day so that you don't have to wear the I've fallen and I can't get up button. But I've noticed now that I'm getting down on the ground every day to do those exercises. Not only are my exercises getting easier, the stretching, and I don't have such tight hamstrings. Dude, my hamstrings were so tight. I can also get up and down off the ground easier, and it doesn't feel so hard. And so that's an amazing thing. But it didn't happen like in the second day or even the second week or the second month. I've been doing it for a while, but all of a sudden you're going to realize that, oh, I've gotten there. Maybe I need to change my goal. And isn't that cool? So I want you to consider the things that you do in the dark, the times when nobody's watching you, when you have the discipline to, for me, get up out of bed when it's, you know, dark and cold or rainy. And I do walk in the rain sometimes when it's not on a weekday because my hair is a thing, you know, I can't get my hair wet, but there's a lot of it and it's a project anyway. But you know, those things that you do when nobody's watching because you want to get to that goal, those are the things you have to focus on when you're tired or when it's cold or it's rainy or, you know, you don't feel like it or whatever. And you need to recognize too that, okay, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm never going to be 20 again, but I can still do this thing. I just have to do it a different way and not beat yourself up about the fact that you can't do it like you used to do it when you were 20. And it's okay because getting it done at all is amazing. And I cheer you on every step of the way. Thanks for spending time with me today. If this encouraged you, give it a thumbs up and share it with another aging rebel who needs a little hope. I'll see you in the next one. And remember to live strong, laugh often, and shine with purpose.